My friend, for reasons I shan't understand, I decided to list this evening's discourse as tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. I don't know why I did it. I have no idea why. I don't know if this is the beginning of some type of downward slide. But I am beginning now this Sunday Eve, the 23rd of July, at 7 p.m. And I am starting off now. And I don't know why I said whatever. So forgive me if you come on late. I understand if you do. That's the way that goes. I noticed someone had written something about the Georgia Guidestones. Interesting. The Georgia Guidestones. Did we ever find out anything about that? Did we ever do we really know what that's about? No. But we love to talk about the Georgia Guidestones. Isn't that something? I know what it is, and I don't know if they blew it up or whatever it was. But what the hell was that? What was that? I have no earthly idea. It's one of those things that we in the biz, there's Ford Frey, Fitzy, everybody's here. On a lighter note today, let me tell you what Mrs. L and I did, which is terrific. Every week, normally Sunday, this is kind of our day. We gas up the Yugo. It's a stretch, of course. And we take off. And of course, we hit the Jersey Shore traffic. Dear God. It was forever. I mean, forever. But I swear to God, if you drive along the highway and the byway of New Jersey, the Garden State, it is nothing but one broken down car after another. Car, flat tire, light. I don't know. You drive in New York? I don't see anybody. Jersey, cars, I don't know what it is. They also used to have, some time back, they also had shattered tires. Shattered shadoobie. Shattered tires. Shards o' tires. Splayed about, strewn about. Tires everywhere. Just disintegrated. Why? Don't know. Fascinating nonetheless. Fascinating. Let me also tell you what I did, and I just did a video on this, and I wanted to just share this with you. This is evidence, I believe, of God's own presence and majesty. Jersey corn. The bicolored. I'm into diversity. Sweet corn, I don't think it has much taste. Give me this. Look how thick it is. You buy it in the husk. I get this stuff. I eat 2 of these a day. I love Jersey corn. July is the season. July is when it's just raring to go. And you see field upon field of this. It's incredible. And if you ever do this, I did a little bit, I just wanted to share this. I'm sure you know this. I'm sure you know all about this. I'm sure you know this. You ever go to a store and they take these things and they rip this off and they take all the stuff off, and this one guy was shucking the corn and I said, "What? I don't understand. Why do you do that?" I had to ask, why is this so you don't have to do this at home? I said, but you want to cook it in this. This is the greatest cooking device. And in microwave, the best. The greatest. Now you can argue whether GMO versus organic. That's for another discussion. This, inside here, 4 minutes. That's it. Very simple. You can figure this out. You cut this end off. Here. Not this. Not the stalk end. This end. And then you squeeze it. From this end, it just slides out. No husk. No silk. No errors. No nothing. It is absolutely incredible. And you know what it tastes the best with? Nothing on it. Nothing. People put butter and salt and pepper and say, what are you doing? What are you, spicing corn? Taste it. What are you putting all that stuff on? No, but the cheese and the... Okay. Though that is... The Mexicans know how to do that one. There is a God. He made corn. I'm telling you. It's the greatest thing in the world. Maize. It's incredible. Wonderful stuff. Who doesn't like it? We're not talking corn oil, corn syrup, or any of that stuff. We're talking just corn. Or as sometimes you hear people in the Midwest say, carn. Like Judy Carn from Laughing. Sock it to me. All right, my friends. Now today, I had a story. And I asked somebody the question. I said, are any of you interested in seeing the movie Barbie? Barbie is more important than you think. And somebody said, who cares? I see red. Who cares? Who cares? This is a look into where society is going. Who cares? What are you talking about? Who cares? Who cares? I don't understand this. So put that aside. We got corn, we got Barbie, and then we had this story a little bit about the Amazon palm. You just put your palm in there and that's it. You're ready to go. That's all you need. No need to put in a code or a thing or your phone. I love when you say use this QR code. QR code, God knows what they're downloading on your phone. I have no idea. I'm very distrustful of QR codes. But here's my question. Why is it that anybody would object to having a palm? And I'm going to talk about this. And I've got a friend of mine, ultimate conspiracy guy. Well, it's transhumanism and it's biometrics. I say, would you stop this? Like the Georgia Guidestones. Well, it's Georgia Guidestones. What are the Georgia Guidestones? Well, I don't know. They blew them up. Well, what was it before? Well, it was, specific limits as to And what does it mean? Well, it's, nobody could ever answer it. They love to talk about it. The Georgia Guidestone. What does it do? Anyway, so I've got these friends who are just into this stuff. Well, you know what that means. Now, I understand it's a good idea not to give in to too many examples of biometrics and the like. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Liz Solak said I want to see Oppenheimer first. I have no interest in saying that. A friend of ours said it was very good. They said there's a lot of sex scenes in there. Oh, please. Can you tell me, can I ask a very simple question? When is a sex scene, Liz, you would know this. When is a sex scene necessary? Talk amongst yourself. When is a sex scene necessary? When is violence necessary? A war movie? Gangster? Yeah. Then it can be gratuitous. And when is it gratuitous? But when do you have to have a sex scene? When is it necessary? I'm dead serious. I've got no problem with it. If it's part of the thing, sure. Have you ever noticed in sex scenes, there's absolutely, there's no, it's like immediately they're having sex. Their clothes are on and they're having sex. Nobody has to say, okay, wait a minute, hang on, move over, hang on, get up. Can you move? Hang on a minute. Wait a minute. Hold it. There we go. Wait, not yet. Wait a minute. Hold it. There we go. Mission control. The Eagle has landed. There we go. That's the ticket. But on TV, it never happens. So when is it even necessary? And how come all the time, please explain this to me, I don't understand this. For some reason, if there's a woman, you have to see her breasts and maybe her butt. And if there's a man, you got to see his butt, but you can't show anything else. I don't really want to see it one way or the other. It doesn't matter to me. But why are we still doing this? How is it the woman gets to be naked but not the man? Again, I'm not saying this. I don't understand it. When is it necessary? When is any of this necessary? When do we need this? What was the sexiest movie you've ever seen? And what does that even mean? What does that mean to you? What's a sexy movie? Ask people, what does that mean? What do you mean by that? What is it? Do you remember Love Story? No, that's a love story. It wasn't sexy. Remember Love Story? Remember Love Story? Love Story was the biggest movie. It was huge. It was the... Love means never having to say you're sorry. I don't know where the hell that came from. That's the most stupid thing I've ever heard in my life. What? Remember Love Story? Who's old enough for that one? Remember Eric Siegel? Remember that one? Love Story? And Oliver Story. Stop it. Jenny and John, what's his name? John, the guy who played Waltz. And Godfather was her father. She was supposedly, what, Italian? He's Italian? I don't think so. Remember those movies that were just like the biggest movies there was? Last Tango in Paris. You think that was from what we heard, that was actual sexual battery. That was horrible. Did you ever hear Maria Schneider's take on that one? About Brando with that? There was another one too. Supposedly, what was that movie with Barbara Hershey? Was it David Carradine? Where they said they actually had sex on the... What does that mean, sexy? Breakfast at Tiffany's is the sexiest movie. You know, Dan? I think you're right. I think you're right. When I was a kid, and what year was that? What year was that? There's John McGuire, couldn't get hired, said, as a former piano player in bars, the theme was still requested up until 15 years ago. Da 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 da. The simple story of how great a love can be. The beautiful on the sea. You like the singing, don't you? Because I give it's a little bit of Bert Lahr with some Ethel Merman. Okay, Breakfast at Tiffany's, 1961. How about Mickey Rooney? One of the most racist scenes ever. I think most of us could say this. Patricia Neal. She was a hooker. Remember that, honey? Holly Golightly, she was a hooker. Huh? They implied it, but still, it kind of, well, it wasn't critical to this. But when I was a kid and I saw that, and I remember at the time, and this was something very interesting, and I'll never forget this. As a little, I don't know how old I was. I don't think I was 3. I was 3 in 1961, but whenever I saw it, I remember thinking at the time, and this is when I knew I was a boy. This is when I knew that I was different. This is when I knew that women and men, there was something going on here. And I don't know what it was, but I remember this. And that scene when she comes in from the, what was it, from the fire escape or whatever it was, and it was very simple. And I thought, oh, okay. There you go. I'm getting this. Now, as a kid, I knew it. I knew something was, I just knew it. And it didn't repulse me in the least. I thought, okay, I'm getting this. I thought Summer of 42 was, what year was that? I remember reading the book. I thought, oh my God. There was a song called, you don't remember this, Summer the First Time by Bobby Goldsboro. It was the idea of older women and younger men, but it wasn't it wasn't predatory. It was actually, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to use a word that people don't use. It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. Summer of 42. This was Jennifer O'Neill. Remember Gary Grimes, he played Hermie. And this was summer 42. This was, what year? 1971. Yep. And the book made $32 million. Not bad. The book, yeah, Nantucket. I remember reading the book and thinking, this is really good. I get this. I understand this. And you see, this is the thing I wanted to, I always want to tell people, this is when people know. This is when people know, when you're a kid, that there's something different. Men, women, sex, love, romance, whatever you want to call it. And nobody ever told you this. Parents didn't say, okay, now listen, let me explain this to you. No, it was the opposite. You never said anything. That's why it's so critical at the time to ease into this without anything to interrupt the natural, dare I say, interesting, fluid transition into that. Every now and then you'll hear a story about a young man who is seduced by his female teacher. And people will think, oh, the teacher looks nice, and hey, lucky kid. Oh, no. No. You don't do that. You don't do that. And at that time, when I'm thinking I was 13, 10, whatever, 11, kind of moving into this stuff, and even though I was like nowhere near any kind of a final resolution, I knew something. And that's why we cannot move in and touch kids, literally, figuratively, ideologically, spiritually, regarding what they feel sexually or romantically or emotionally about something as critical and as beautiful and as important, not only for the species, but for individual, for your future. That's why you can't touch them. You cannot touch them. You understand that? You can't do that. You gotta take it easy. You gotta take it easy. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, so I think I told you about this. I have these wonderful friends, and I always want to tell you, don't ever be like them. They are needlessly, I don't want to say conspiracy-minded, but they will jump over each other to grab the more, dare I say, arcane version of things. They love this. And they love to say transhumanism. Now, I want to ask you a question, and I just did a video on my private channel where I can go into a different direction, a direction that is allowed, that I don't think very many people here on social media, I don't think they want you to go into certain detail. Let me ask you a question. I went into great subject matter with this one. Let me ask you a question. Listen to me carefully. By the way, here we go. That's the private channel link. What if you came home one night and your spouse or your partner or whatever you want to call them comes to you and says, "We got bad news. There's a new family moving down the hall, down the road in our complex or our gated community or our apartment or whatever it is. But we got a new family over there." Oh yeah? Yeah, bad news, right? They've got kids. Oh. You know, loud noise, kids playing dogs, kids yammering, kids. Or they got teenagers, they're going to be out late at night. Is that okay? Can you say that? Would you be considered an ageist? Probably not. You'd say, well, that kind of makes sense. I had a friend of mine one time who was a private detective. And he said, if ever you're thinking about moving into a neighborhood or to a house, or whatever. He says, always drive by on a Saturday night. Just drive through the neighborhood. See if they're loud. See what's happening. See what's going on. See what's... Because that's when you would normally hear it. It makes sense. So what if I were to tell you that? Is that okay? I say, hey, there's someone... Well, interesting. Okay. Why? Just kids, right? Just kids. Nothing else? Not any particular... No, just kids. Didn't even specify what race they were, or I had a reason for that. Okay. Now, what if somebody turned around and said, oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you. We got a group of whoever. Now we get into specifics. I have a friend of mine who lives in a part of Queens. And it is, in this particular part, I think it's a mixture of, I think it's Asian, Dominican. I don't know. But it is 24 hours a day, loud music, loud, and people outside and yelling and screaming, and now you stop right there. Isn't it funny how people say, now wait a minute, don't go there. What? You're gonna make some kind of extrapolation about these people, about Dominican or Puerto Rican or Asian or Chinese or Korean or something. You're gonna say something about a group of people. And you can't say that. And my friend would say, you don't understand. I'm Dominican too. You don't understand this. I'm telling you. This is a group that you do not want to live here. Don't say that. What do you mean? Don't say it. But it's true. I'm telling you. They call the police. You can't say that. Why? You just don't say that. But it's true. But what about teenagers? Oh, that's okay. You can say that. You can say that. You know, these damn kids playing the music. Okay, that's fine. But don't say what kind of kids. Don't say white kids. Or white kids you can say, but don't say black kids. Or don't say anything. We'll let you say things, and we'll let you generalize to an extent, except if it's certain people. I find that to be intellectually disingenuous and absolutely wrong. Why can we not say things about reality? Why can't we say, look, I can't speak for populations as a whole. I have no idea. But I'm telling you, in this neighborhood, we've got this. You can't say that. Why not? Why not? When can you generalize? When can you not? It's one of these stories that I'd love people to be able to tell me, when can you say this? When can you say this? Hey, I'm opening up a restaurant. What is it? It's Ecuadorian. Oh, okay. And what do you know about Ecuadorian food? Well, I'm Ecuadorian myself. We have Ecuadorian music. We play a particular style of music, which the Ecuadorians, natives, will find pleasing. They will be reminiscent of their home. We have certain things on the menu. We have a certain wine selection. We have Ecuadorian waiters and waitresses. And we have different posters or pictures from... Okay, fine. That's okay. Isn't that generalizing? No, it's not. Why not? Well, no, that's good. Wait a minute. So you can generalize good but not bad? There is no such thing as bad. There's no such thing as bad. You can't make... No. Unless it's a comedy routine and you happen to be a member of that. Remember Freddie Prinze? I watched Freddie Prinze, his opening night on Johnny Carson. And I remember they said this was one of the biggest nights ever. This kid actually was the first Puerto Rican comic to actually point out things about Puerto Rican behavior. He goes, hey, mommy, it's not my job. Okay. It was, to me, the lamest by today's standards. But at the time, it was, they say, nobody had ever done that. It was the biggest event on Johnny Carson ever. But he's generalizing. But he's Puerto Rican. What difference does it make? I love these rules. Well, can I generalize? No. What are you talking about? No. Mm-mm. If somebody were to say, I run a clinic in whatever, and I deal with Filipinos. It's almost an entire I've lived in the Philippines for the past 40 years. I'm from Chicago. I'm a physician, and I've dealt with Filipinos. And I want to tell you some funny things about Filipinos that I've mentioned. No. By the way, you know what you call a Filipino contortionist? A manila folder. Here's my question. When is it okay? When is it okay for you to make something? Make a comment about somebody. When is it racist? When is it not? When is it acceptable? When it's not? I love these rules. I can tell you when, don't go there. Don't do that. Don't go there. I was watching some Dave Chappelle stuff. Don't ask me what made me think of this. I was just watching it before. And Dave Chappelle is going after, or maybe did, maybe not anymore, but on these short loops, going after trans, just will not let up. He's fixated on this. Okay, fine. And because by God, he's going to make a point. And I'm wondering, why does Dave Chappelle get a pass? Why? Why does he get a pass? I don't understand this. Why is he getting a pass? Why can he do this? Why is he getting a pass? Nobody's calling for his boycott, I guess. Or maybe they did. I don't know. Prince of the Cats, thank you, Prince. Principe de Gatto, Gatti, thank you. Thank you. It's a hand crepitation for you. I love the rules. I just love this stuff. The story was about Amazon. They got this thing now where they want you to put their palms in there. What about a phone for the QR code? Well, that's okay. What about your thumbprint? Maybe. Iris scanning? Oh, no. Palm? Now you're going too far. Fingerprint? That's okay. I don't understand it. I love these rules. I told you the other day, I love this one. We talked about we have a friend of ours who was talking about PETA. Doesn't like PETA. PETA doesn't care anything about animal rights. PETA doesn't, right? PETA doesn't. PETA, I said, do you care about animal rights? Yeah, I do. Well, you eat animals. Now, wait a minute. They were raised for that. What do you mean they were raised for that? Yeah. Well, would you eat a cat? No. But I'll eat a chicken. I'll eat venison. That's hunting. If you hunt it, that's even better. That's real okay. Because you got them in the wild. What about bear meat? Bear. Okay, yeah, bear. That's kind of like cool. Rattlesnake. Okay. Alligator. Ooh, yeah, alligator. Yeah, we can do that. Dolphin. They used to do this thing called dolphin. There's dolphin fish and dolphin like porpoise. People thought it was, so they called it mahi. And then tuna was ahi or something else. And then there was Nile perch was golden snapper. They changed the name of this. People had a hard time. I can't eat dust flipper. Why not? No. I love that. Do you see where I'm going with this? We have these rules. I don't know where the rules, why does this make sense and this one doesn't? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. If somebody asks you, do you believe in Jesus Christ? No, I don't. What the hell's the matter with you? I'm Jewish. Oh, that's okay. Wait a minute. What difference does that make? Well, you don't believe in Jesus. You're not a Christian because you're Jewish. What difference is it? Well, if you were not Jewish and you just rejected it, then you'd be an atheist and then you'd be sick. Then you'd be evil and bad. What? But it's okay if I do this? Yes, it's okay. I don't understand any of this. The rules make no sense to me whatsoever. None. Here's one for you. Let me ask you a question. Would most people agree that it's wrong for you to toss a can let's say you have soda or pop, as you might call it, depending upon where you're. I've never called it pop in my life, but you might take it and you get a soda and a bottle of this and you throw it on the ground. That's littering, correct? Yes. You can't do that. Doesn't that drive you crazy? Do you ever see somebody just throw garbage out of a window? Don't you want to just take a bat and demolish their cars? Like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Okay, fine. Okay. Now, what if I, instead of taking this and I discard it by just tossing it aside, what if I leaned over, bent over, put this on the ground, flat, and then said, I'm going to come back and pick this up later. I'm going to put this here for a moment, just rest this on the ground, because I got to do something. But I'm going to come back later and retrieve it and then throw it away. But I'm going to forget. So I'm not throwing it away. I'm just putting it down on the ground. I'm placing it there. What's the difference? Technically a lot, but technically nothing. Don't you love the way we just come up with these things? I don't understand. We're supposed to get mad at Putin because he invaded Ukraine because of what he thought was an existential threat, namely that of Ukraine. We were going to go to war with Russia in 1962 because what we thought was an existential threat because of Cuban, Russian missiles in Cuba, which actually were at the time, it was really about Turkey, but different story. So we were going to go to war, and they applauded John Kennedy. You are wonderful. Thank you, President Kennedy. Thank you. Profiles in courage. Yes. Okay, fine. Well, what did Putin do? Well, that's different. What do you mean? Well, they're weaponizing. You what? Prince of Cat says, I'm a long-time listener. Love your commentary. Prince, thank you immensely. Thank you. Hand crepitations for you. Thank you for enjoying the commentary, because I hope you understand the commentary. Because a lot of people, I don't think it's that complicated. I don't think people just get it. I don't think so. And I'm used to that. Because I'm not fitting into this one or that one. I just don't, I don't, these things just make no sense to me. I do not. And the questions that I really want to ask, which I have to do a private channel on, is when do you, if a person is black and white, black parents, let's say mother's white, father's black, whatever it is, you're biracial. What's the next generation called? When do you lose the bi or the tri or the quad or the centi? Do you deci, centi, milliracial, 1 in 1,000? How do we figure this thing out? I don't understand that. Don't really care about it. Don't worry about it. Don't care about it. Just let it go. Just let these things go. That's all I want to say. I don't understand it. I want to know how people say we believe in a right to life. The child, the fetus, has a right to life. We are a Christian country and we support life. What about the death penalty? Oh, different story. Screw you. Kill him. Burn him. I'll never understand that. Yeah, but no. See, he committed murder. Well, this is only a fetus. No, wait a minute. Well, you want to have a condition. I have a condition. My condition is... No, you can't. Whoa. Don't you love the way we do this situational morality? I love it. We have these... Well, you're biracial, but you're not anymore. Well, 4 generations back... How are you going to be able to handle reparations? I very, very, very... I don't know how to prove this, but I believe, based upon my Puerto Rican lineage, I believe there is a definite African contingent in my lineage. Honest to God. Per stirpes, consanguinity, not affinity, actual, the real McCoy. I can't. Now, does that entitle me to anything? I don't think so. But could it? Maybe. How would I prove that? Who has records of things? Do you just look at somebody and go, okay, obviously? What do you mean, obviously? Well, obviously. What does that mean? Well, you know what I mean. Oh, no, what does that mean? Well, I don't know. What about me? Well, you got to prove it. Why? Well, you don't look. I don't look what? What are you saying? You know what I'm saying. No, I don't know what you're saying. What are you saying? How come I want my reparations? I'm telling you, 3 generations back, there was some slavery. Not a lot, but... And I can't prove it because they didn't keep records. Why am I not entitled to this? But you don't have to prove anything. Well, it's obvious. Why? Well, look at him. Look at him? What does that mean? Well, you know what I mean. No, I don't know what that means. Do you see where we are? None of this makes it. We do. I don't understand any of this. Nothing. And that's the beautiful part. Do you remember when you were a kid? I don't know about you, but I loved when they first told me about God and Catholicism. It's not really Catholicism. It's more like when you were a kid, because I thought religion was so interesting. And we had a little bit of catechism, a little bit. And I told you this story, but I'm going to tell you again. I was in kindergarten, and there was this, I looked up, and there were these paintings in the classroom. They were so good. 2 kids walking with a guardian angel. Most beautiful thing in the world. Looked like the wicked Gwenda. What's her name? Gwendolyn. What was the good witch's name? Gwendolyn, Guinevere, Gwyneth, whatever her name is. She was the good witch. You know what I mean? Okay. So this is what I saw. These 2 kids on this rickety rope bridge between 2 mountains. I mean, just this, if they fell, it was lightning. And the guardian angel was like this. Like, don't worry about it. Glenda. Galinda? Oh, Glinda. Okay, right. Glinda. There we go. That's what this thing looked like. This angel. So... None was talking. We didn't get a lot of catechism. Really wasn't. It was more about writing and whatever it was. Glenda, right? Of the North. Glenda of the North, honey. Glenda. Remember that one? And then the other one, Margaret Hamilton. She was the... Yeah, no, Glinda. Glinda. You are correct. Glinda is the fictional character of Frank Baum. By the way, Frank Baum used silver versus gold. Glinda. Remember that? She played... that was still the scariest movie. In any event. Not to belabor the point. So at one point I'm looking up, and they said, our guardian angel. Our guardian angel is so wonderful because our guardian angel watches us. Our guardian angel watches us. That's what's a nice idea. And then I looked up and it hit me and said, wait a minute. There's 2 kids on this rickety bridge here. There's one guardian angel. Which of them buys the farm? It's obviously one of them is going to get it. Because we each get a guardian angel and there's only one here. They didn't think about drawing 2. So I raised my hand. Sister, would you please tell me what? And I basically got the, don't ask it, don't be a smart ass, or she didn't say that, but something to that effect. I will never forget that. I thought to myself, no. And I knew I must be over the target because I'm catching flack. I thought that was wonderful. I was like, yeah, this doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get it. When I got my first laugh in the first grade. Remember the picture of Jesus on the cross? It was in all the papers. You ever heard of it? And there was this thing that says IHS. Remember this one? It means, it does not stand for I have suffered. It doesn't mean Jesus hominum salvator. No, it doesn't mean in hoc signo. IHS is more appropriately called a Christogram. and is an ancient way of writing the word Jesus Christ. Kind of like ichthos, so to speak. Christians dating all the way back to the 3rd century, Christians shortened the name of Jesus by only writing the first 3 letters of his name in Greek, IHS, iota, eta, s, from his full name, the Greek letters. Anyway, make a long story short, 3 letters, IHS, whatever. Got it? Okay. I said IHS means I hate Satan. And I got to laugh. And I wasn't trying to be funny. I was just thinking that, you're a kid. I thought, oh, I mean it. That was my first laugh. Or they say, oh, I just thought the story was just incredible. It set me up for what we're doing right now. Because I'm always asking, well, that doesn't make any sense. What are we doing that for? That doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense. One of my favorite stories was I went to a school in Tamil called St. Lawrence. Now, St. Lawrence of Rome was a famous martyr who was burned to death on a gridiron, on a griddle, so to speak. And his line was, please look this up. He says, turn me over. I'm done on this side. I'm a kid. And we're reading this. First of all, why are you telling me about martyrs when you're trying to lure me into believing into this and following this Catholic, lifestyle? And you're showing me time after time where people who were killed and tortured horribly because they believed in what you want me to believe in. This is not winning me over. Which I never really got. But turn me over, I'm done on this side. Imagine you're a kid and you hear that. What does that mean? How about, was it St. Peter? Was it St. Peter who was crucified? It says, I cannot be crucified like the Lord. Crucify me upside down. Which actually throws off the whole thing of asphyxiation, because you die on the cross because of asphyxiation. You hang and you can't exhale. But if you're upside down, maybe... And that was a book called The Doctor at Calvary. Or Cavalry, as people will say. Or people say, bring in the Calvary. They always get that word. Everything I have right now, everything I am, everything I think, I owe to Catholic school. Everything. My love of Satan, not as a Satanist, but just the cartoon of Satan, Catholic school. The ability to say, what? Catholic school. My sense of injustice, Catholic school. Why? Teaching me about limbo, where unbaptized babies went. I said, whoa, wait a minute, hold it. Unbaptized babies, it's not their fault. Well, I had no idea what inequality meant till limbo. I had no idea. Everything I feel today started off essentially from and I say this with love. I am not spiteful in the least. I'm not, because they're also very good things. Because the message of Christ is wonderful, very nice, all about. There we go. Sorry about that. I hit my thing. Ford Frey writes, watched Glenn Beck yesterday. He shared the story about the Fox News execs matching employees' contributions to different causes. One cause being the Satanic Temple group. They've lost their minds. I didn't read that, Ford. I did not read that. Satanic Temple group. I thank you. I do not necessarily know if this is true, but if I tell you Satanic Temple group, let me do this. Let's read this. Let's put Fox News. Remember when Glenn Beck went full Alex Jones for a while and he was writing on the board? He was full AJ. And then lost his mind. Okay. Fox News, this is from a group called The Main Wire. Fox News, a purported conservative cable news network, matches employee donations to numerous left-wing charities and activist groups, according to a report by Blaze Media. While putting on airs of supporting conservative causes, Fox will apparently match employee charitable contributions to the Satanic Temple, the Trevor Project, Planned Parenthood. Now, Satanic Temple is the mission of the Satanic Temple is to encourage benevolence and empathy, reject tyrannical authority, advocate practical common sense. Oh, is this, what's his name? Is this... This isn't Baphomet. What is his name? The Satanist? Oh, Baphomet. Yes. Look at this. Look at some of these stories. Baphomet versus Ten Commandments. Will Baphomet be moving to the Arkansas? Interesting. The Satanic Temple wins fight to have Satanism recognized by Kentucky state government. How about this one? The Satanic Temple threatens legal action if school district hits children. Corporal punishment by school officials against students who are members of the Satanic Temple are a violation of civil rights. I agree with that. I don't believe there should be any school. Federal court orders to allow after-school Satan club. Well, let me ask you a question. Do you believe that Satanism should be recognized as a religion? Anybody? Anybody? Who thinks Satanism should be? I do. What's wrong with that? Shouldn't that be a... I don't think I don't know much about it. I don't know about matching. It doesn't really sound good. But aside from that, putting everything aside, is Satanism a religion? Who thinks so? There we go with the Georgia Guidestones again. There's Joseph. He is on that Georgia Guidestone stuff. Who thinks that Satanism is a religion? I do. I may not believe in it, but Buddhism, is that a religion? Well, maybe. Yeah, sure. If you say so. Wiccan, I agree. Do you think that Satanism, Luciferianism, should be acknowledged as a religion? Again, I don't know that much about it. I don't know about half of these. Baha'i, I don't know about Baha'u'llah. I remember Seals and Crofts. I remember going to the Baha'i temple in where in Israel? What? Damn it! What's the name of that? You can tell I'm out of my mind. The Baha'i Haifa. Remember the joke? Not the joke, but the stories. You go to Jerusalem. You go to Jerusalem. You go to Jerusalem to pray. Tel Aviv to play, and Haifa to stay. So they say. Now this is very good, I know, because this will make you crazy. Do you believe that people say it's religion? Ford says, I don't think it's a religion. What is a religion? Is Scientology a religion? Yes. Who thinks Scientologist is a religion? I do. Why? Because they say it is. What about what is not a religion? And who are you to say, well, that's not a religion? If you say it's a religion, okay. And if it's not a religion, well, what's the significance? Then if it's not a religion, then what is Satanism? What is it? Is it a cult? I like when we call things a cult. What is it? Everybody seems to know. How do you define a religion? What's a religion? What does that mean to you? I don't know what it means. The Scientologists have done more to have they have done more to promote religious freedom around the world. I shouldn't say doing more, but done a lot by recognizing Falun Gong, others in China, and others as well. Who are you? What is a religion? Paganism is a religion and a club. Maybe. I don't even know what that means. How dare anyone say what is and isn't a religion? And I know that Glenn Beck, of course, is Mr., because that's, I'm a, whatever it is. A religion is the belief in and worship of a superhuman power or powers, especially a god or gods. A superhuman power. A simple definition of religion is a belief in a god or gods and the activities that are connected with the belief. Well, Buddhism is not belief in a god. Buddhism is atheism. Put this in there. Buddhism and atheism. Secular Buddhism, sometimes also referred to as agnostic Buddhism. Buddhism is not, hang on a second. Buddhism is not, therefore, atheistic in the modern understanding which developed in the West. Is a Buddhist an atheist? Well, Buddhism is a tradition focused on spiritual liberation. It is not a theistic religion. The Buddha himself rejected the ideas of a creator God, and Buddhist philosophers even argue that belief in an eternal God is nothing but a distraction for humans seeking enlightenment. Whatever. What do you think, what do you think is the term of what is a religion? Let's look up this one. Religion, faith, divinity. It is from religare, to bind, religio, obligation, bond. Okay, good. You can be bound to pagan. Let's look at what pagan is. Always look, and by the way, always very good going to the etymology. Pagan, especially historical, is a person holding religious beliefs other than those of the main or recognized religion. That's paganism. It's very interesting. Paganism is a term used in the 4th century by early Christians for people in the Roman Empire who practiced polytheism or ethnic religions other than Judaism. That's pagan. But that's not what people think of it term. Pagan means, it says the origin of followers of ancient religion that worship several gods. Today, pagan is used to describe someone who doesn't go to synagogue, church, or mosque. It could be that they worship several gods at once, or they have no interest in God at all. That's not what people mean by pagan. Pagan is a pejorative. You pagan, you heathen. Let's get our words correct here. I think a Wiccan person, you want to call it a religion? That's fine. I love when people say, well, Scientology is crazy. Well, why? Well, that's... Anybody coming up and bothering you to become one? Well, not really. Why can't you be a Scientologist? Well, I don't know. Chick Corea, Isaac Hayes, didn't Kirstie Alley, wasn't she one? I don't know. Tom Cruise, Travolta, I don't know about Travolta. What difference does it make? What difference does it make? Well, L. Ron Hubbard is a thetan. Okay, so, and what's your point? Do you want me to go through and describe the way your faith looks like to an outsider? No, I don't think so. Don't you love the way we're so, dare I say, parochial, isn't it? Kind of pun. I want you to think, my friend. That's all I want you to do. I want you to use your head. I want you to think. That's all. Think. Do what I do. Always ask yourself, does this make any sense? Well, listen, you've been wonderful. Thank you so very much. You've been so kind. Ford Frey, thank you, Ford. Prince of the Cats, thank you immensely as well. You were very, very kind. Of course, John McGuire couldn't get higher. Thank you as well, who plays piano tunes in a bowling alley cocktail lounge. Thank you so much. All right, dear friends. You have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I mean that sincerely. We will be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. per usual. Don't forget to corn in the husk, microwave, or on a grill. Very nice. Use the husk as a steaming and cooking element. Perfection. All right, dear friends, have a great day. See you tomorrow, same bad time, same bad channel. Until then, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Da-da.